Hey friends, how you guys doing? Welcome to, I think this is episode 11. I may be wrong. I think it's episode 11 though. And we're coming in live. Let's get a few things set up. It takes a little bit longer. I think I figured out my niche on YouTube. Um, it's a little different, but what we're going to do is I've just got to make a post real quick. Because this is the only thing that bothers me. It doesn't work with my other social networking stuff. All right, let's get this shindig started and let it post, and then we'll get logged in and go from there. All right, my little friends, my little demons. Let's get logged in, get started, and we'll go from there, man. I know I just made a post on Facebook. Hi, friends from Facebook. This is my little area. If you guys want to subscribe to me, whatever. I'm starting to do videos a little every day. Long night. I will say this. It was a long night. I got to get everything set up still. Get rid of these blasted red dots. I like to call them the red dots of doom. They're terrible. So we got Right of Exile tonight, and we're about to lose two, maybe all of our towers if I don't jump in there. I gotta go fracking defend these towers. They're our team's getting a little comfy. We dropped to second place. We had somebody leave the clan, emergencies and stuff like that. So we dropped to second place on the leaderboards. You look at the top 10, we're still number one. And if you go to Dark Clans, we probably hit number one, like right at. Oh no, they lost somebody. Somebody quit. Dropped them to number two. So we did take number one for the week. That's okay. The same thing happened to us, though. It's normal. I was explaining to folks that there's this thing called attrition that you experience as clan. Oh, look, somebody's already in there clearing them out. All right, let me jump in here before somebody else does. They have the same idea that I do. Yeah, if you don't take care of your towers, they get ugly to clear. You have to, if they don't get cleared out within, a certain amount of time, they get ugly. Oh, got another wave. And you got to kill all this shit and hope that you can knock it down to 0%, which there's still one in here. Ta-da. All better. I have no clue as to why it's so jumpy lately. It might be just because I have a whole bunch of shit in the background. Hold on. Let me close out a few things, give you guys a little bit of breathing room. Oh, in this place, I don't have to have everything turned on, you know what I'm saying? If I don't need it. Just... I'm running a gaming laptop, for those who want to know. Let me get rid of that overhead. Alright, so let's get today started. Actually, since we're in here, let's get rid, and we're safe right now, let's get rid of our red dots. I forgot to bet last night. No, I got to bet tonight. I was thinking betting last night. That's tonight. I was going to say I forgot to place my bets, but I didn't. I get to do that at 7 tonight. You need to place your bets every week. The bets go on to who's going to win Shadow Wars. If this the rain we're up against is it's like a multi-million-dollar team, so they're gonna go 7 weeks. They're hard to. They get stuck in there like a tick, dude, and they're pretty much done. That's funny. Which treasure hunt? I hate these things that they gatekeep you. I really do. It drives me mad. Absolutely. Alright. Oh, look, I killed at least 3 of these monsters. Alright. So the next part is going to collect our goodies and send our pets out to go do their shadow stuff. Hey, Booby. And since I'm so close to it, and we're not going to play like that, I'm doing stuff. Go pick up the R. Stuff. Yeah, I'm very organized as to like how I run things for those that don't know. Yeah, it's not as jumpy as it was. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. They just had a new patch and it's not optimized. It's obvious, so it's kind of sort of jumpy. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to send 2 of you guys off to do 1 contract. And then the other 2 can do evens. Even FODs. And then events, it's that stupid, every time you like log in, load something, it's dumb. I hate it. Everything else I'm done with for the week, but I'm going to check my market a little bit earlier, knock out my Yakins to get that out of the way. I don't know though, I may not. I may skip him. Skip leg day. Put some of these wonderful runes up. I think I have 3 of these for 900 a piece. Sold. They'll sell eventually. Typically when you have bulk items, somebody will, it's nice because people will pick them off, like, you know, I'll have an 8 stack and somebody will buy 3 at a time, so that's 300, which will drop it down to 5. Somebody will buy another 3, you know, and I make it that way. Because some of the stuff I just don't use. Like, the runes right now are so broken. I don't mean they're broken in the way, like, you know, like they don't work. They work. It's just they don't drop. I haven't had a good rune drop in probably 3 months, honestly. And I do, you know, quite a bit. I'm about to hit 10, my sweet spot, which is about 10 levels above Paragon, hopefully today, and I'll be right back on task with what I've got to do. And I'll probably run some dungeons just to get them out of the way too on Oda once I'm done with Ray Ray. Because again, you guys have to realize I run 2 characters. And so I try to keep them close to each other. Ray Ray's only been over Oda a handful of times, and that's just because I took a break from playing Crusader. It's nice to have an alt, man. It is. Some people joke about it. You know, oh, I don't understand the reason to have an alt, man. Like, it's like, yeah, totally, like, not cool to have an alt. Like, you could always class change. I know that, dude, but why? Why do I want to class change when I can have 2 characters? One of them I can keep, and the other one I can class change all the shit. I use my alt. I class change my alt all the shit, man. Like, constantly. Oof. You want to talk about some lag? Talk about it, mama. It's been like this ever since the patch. Like, I noticed it like the day before. It just needs some optimization. And this is normal. Usually I'll get it. They'll have an update within the next 7 days to patch all the optimization pieces that they need. It's not that bad. I get it whether I'm streaming or whether I'm not. And it's not my computer because this computer's way over the statistics. I don't have a bunch of shit running. Yeah, I'm streaming, but I can stream Fallout 4, which is way heavier than this game. All right. So no incidences there. Gust towers, of course. And then get off light. Yeah, I try not to sound so negative, man. I don't want to sound negative or condescending about something. The honest to God's truth is that most times I'm playing, I'm just chilling, you know, like what's going on, you know. I have fun with this game. I've been playing since launch. I've been through half a dozen streamers that have come and gone, and you know, like I got on and I was like, man, I've dealt with broadcast before. It's, you know, it's not hard. I've got some equipment to do it. No, I did not hook it up again. I'm using the laptop's microphone because I'm lazy. I have a mixer literally like right next to the laptop and a microphone, and I just have to plug the cord in, and I'm like, I don't want to wear the headset. You get that way sometimes. You're like, I don't want to wear that damn headset, man. It's like extra weight on my ears. I'm too tired for that shit. All right, so my prediction is that the next one will be over here. Now, I might be wrong, because again, this is an area where you got to predict. So I may have to run all... Nope, I was right. So this is going to be lightning towers. I can almost guarantee you. Watch. Yep, lightning tower. Cool. And I'll have them before the bugs show up, which is even better. Oh. Got it. Got that 4. That's all that matters. And get this to rank 2. And then go work on Gust Tower to get it to rank 3 so none of the little guys slip by. Because that's what'll happen. Sometimes it's the big guys, but most of the time it's the little dudes that'll slip by. And it has to deal with the fact that the range on the Gust Tower isn't enough, or that its timing is off by just a tick. It can be any of them. My problem child is going to be the one down south, though. And actually, let me get that fixed up while we're at it. Hush. Hush. You're being facetious, kitty cat. Stop cussing. You can almost tell which is going to be which when you get down here anyways. So we'll just knock these out and get these to rank 4 so we don't have to worry about them. We can just leave them. But this can be a problem child too if you don't have enough of them. And that's the first one I'm going to build. Is going to be that one. But I do need to rank this up to 4 because this is, again, the first row. The second row will be this one, and then we'll build that bolt caster, that third bolt caster first. Because I don't trust it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I trust it now for this one, but next one I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to have that third bolt caster. Because the little guys will creep around the corner on you. And when they do, you're pretty much in up shit creek without a paddle. So, see what I'm saying? See how one of them went by? It's a little bit of a problem. Like I said, right on the first round, one went by. You saw the bolt caster was firing at it over here. Almost. Like I said, they've increased something or another with the little guys, and they can sneak past these towers. Just something I noticed. So that's why you gotta reinforce them on the 4th one if you can. I may have to change up my build just a little bit later on so that it's done. Now, the rule on this is you should be able to get this to rank 3 before the end of the round, and you should have all 2 rank 4s and 1 rank 3. But I literally am amazed at the fact that I just finished that. Like, I'm super ahead on my build. Like, probably this is the farthest ahead I've ever been on my build. So I'm doing excellent as far as build goes, because the next tower is the last one. It's the fire tower. It's right here. See what I'm saying? Boom, flame tower. Now I'm fully protected. Fully upgraded. As soon as this one's at rank 4 or level 4, we're done. You know? We just go down here and we'll wait in our little corner and no. Over here. There. That's yours. You guys can hear I'm talking to the cat again. She's always got something to say. She's mouthy. But I love her. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? You're a good girl. You're a good girl, huh? The worst. Oh, man. It's literally, you just stand there and... Because this is a safe zone, you're going to have 3 chests pop up, and sometimes if you're running and the victory screen pops up, you'll continue to run uncontrolled, so you'll just run all over the place. So I usually... It's a bug. So I usually just find a nice place where I can collect all this stuff, and then I go back and I make a Q. Or a G. Because that's kind of the shape of it. I'll make a G. And then turn the rest into the man over here, the man, the myth, and the legend. Still right. So I may not make 50 today. I'm just kind of realizing that. But that's okay. I'll make it tomorrow. I'll only be 1 under. So it's really not that bad. All I'm doing now is I'm just padding Server Paragon for next week. And that's all you're doing when you're getting over Server Paragon. And the rule is that I don't want to go any further than 3 levels. So technically, if I was grinding right now, I would stop at 753. Like, I would literally stop. I'll explain why. You're wasting your time. And anybody can go look this up. There is a, it's been data mined. There is an algorithm in game, and it's the loot drop algorithm. And a lot of folks didn't understand this at the beginning of the game. So a data miner went into the files and he took a look at all of the SQL tables that are concerning the loot drop. And it was different. So, yes, your magic find on your gear does have a little to do with this. And this is where we're going to talk about this. Your magic find doesn't need to fall below about 50%. The higher it is, the better. Okay? And because what it does for you is that it converts some of these legendaries, or some of these blues into yellows and yellows into legendaries when they drop. That's how Magic Find works. It has nothing to do with the green drops in dungeons. Those are on a separate table, which is also on a similar algorithm that legendary gear is on. So how does all of this coalesce together? So if you have noticed, especially those of you who have taken a break from the game and then played catch up, when you came back, that you get a lot more legendaries dropping for you when you're leveling than when you do your Server Paragon, and that's because it's not a coincidence. It's within the design of the game. they wanted to make it easier for people to play catch up if they had to take a break from the game. It is an MMO, after all. You know what I'm saying? It's not a true Diablo game at the core. The only thing really Diablo about it is the models, the classes, and the IP. Everything else is basically an MMO. You notice the combat situations are a little slightly slower than a normal Diablo game will be. In a normal Diablo game, I would be just, I would have oodles and oodles of mobs coming at me like crazy, and I would be one-shotting every single one of them, and that's not the case with this game. It takes a couple of hits to kill mobs if you're, an average player. But if you're a grinder, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't ever notice this. Like, if you've been on every single day of every moment the last 2.5 years and you've never missed a day, or you haven't even missed 2 weeks, we'll give it at that. Like, I think it takes 2 weeks for returners to turn on. So if you've never had returners turn on, then you don't know what I'm talking about. And this is where I'm going to educate you. So the reason why it's set up that way, like I said, is to ensure that loot drops are universal. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're plentiful as you're leveling, so that way your gear will somewhat match your level. It doesn't always happen that way, but for the most part, it's less time consuming, and it's easier if, when you go up difficulty levels to grind out gear. Than it is, to, just level, because you'll get stuck. And that was like the problem with a lot of folks, was they found out that, they were getting stuck because they didn't have the gear. So, like, they would, say you were 200 levels behind, all right? So that in itself is, like a few months of gaming, all right? And you decide to come back to the game, and you got to play catch up. Well, as you're playing catch up, the problem that they were running into is people were getting stuck to difficulty levels below where the server was because the gear wasn't dropping fast enough. So what they did was, if you were 15 or more levels below, you get a additional 5% drop rate, which means that you're going to get a lot more gear, 5% more gear, 5% more chance of more legendary spawning, 5% chance of this dropping. And dungeon is the same way, so that's why you get more greens too, if you've noticed it. Now, once you get to server Paragon, that breaks even at its normal, quote unquote, what they refer to as the 100% rate. All right, you are basically at the normal rate, which on the subtable is 100%. All right, now once you reach between 10 levels and 13 levels, on the 10th level above, your triple stat gear has a percentage. It goes up 0.5%. So between the 10th level and the 13th level above Paragon, you still have the 100% drop, but you have one other additive for those 3 levels, which is an additional 0.5% of it being a triple double. After that, everything drops drastically. The Magic Find your drop rate for Legos goes down from 100% to 95%, but your triple doubles go up an additional 0.5%, so you get a full 1% bonus. So even though you won't get as many legendaries, you have a 1% chance of it being higher statted than normal gear. So there is a reason why so many people do crash out and go 15, 16, 17 levels above server Paragon, which is ridiculous, because the experience value is like 1% at that point. All right, if for every month you're only getting 1% experience on everything that provides experience at that point. So why do people still do that? Because if they've pre-planned that week that that's what they were going to do, then they're going to grind out all their stuff, and they're going to have a higher percentage of chance. They don't care about the time, you know what I'm saying, that they're investing. They only care about trying to get that gear. Now, where does that gear drop? It definitely does not drop from open world farming. Okay, it drops from terror rifts, raids, yakin, challenge dungeons, anything that is not open world farming. Open world farming is the worst way to get gear. It really is. Like, the bonuses on the gear are not high at all. You still have a chance of getting a best in slot piece, but it's significantly lower than if you were to fight a raid boss. So people push those extra levels to get higher, so that way, one, they don't have to grind as much, and two, they have a higher chance of getting a triple double, even though they have a lower chance of a 5% lower chance of a legendary piece dropping for them. It still has a 1% chance of being higher than if you were 9 levels above Server Paragon. So they're gambling that chance out basically with their time. So that's how a lot of people will do it. And gear only really flexes out majorly every 100 levels. After that, it basically is locked. It's time gated. Every week it goes up a couple of points, but it's not, significant enough for me to go, oh my God, And that's why you notice, like, your first week, like, when we hit Paragon 800, my first week, man, I'm going to be upgrading like crazy. And then after that, after the first week, there won't be much. It'll be nickel and dime upgrades, basically. Nothing too fanciful. And definitely nothing that, to brag about. I might get a triple or a triple static gear. I don't think they do triple doubles anymore. I think everything's a triple. Got it. All right, good. Everything's a triple, so, So that's kind of giving you guys the reason as to why you don't want to go too far ahead. You're actually punished because you lose 5% on legendary drops. So, now, that does not affect, yes, that does affect dungeon greens, but they're on a completely different table. And that also includes you building them yourself, you crafting. So crafting is all part of the RNG system. It pulls from the same table. So if you want higher levels greens, of course you want to start upgrading them when you're above Server Paragon. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to start doing them at Server Paragon. Because again, like I said, here in a level, and it resets every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So you have, the faster you can get 10 levels to 13 levels above, the more you're able to claim that gear. And I usually slow it down, you know what I'm saying? So I have that 3 days of leveling, Oh shit, you sign up for ROE. I'll go ahead and register. Alright, so that'll take care of that. They actually probably have a good team. As it is, I just sign up for it. They don't really. They pick who they pick. I went last week. I'm not a greedy person. I went last week. I just sign up in case one of the, as an alternate, because I'm always on for ROE. always on for ROE. If I'm not on, it's because I'm sick. I was sick last week and I was on. I'm just getting over it all. I've had a hell of a winter, man. I got sick twice this year. It's kind of abnormal for me. I usually get sick about once a year, but, I've moved to a new area here in Wisconsin. I literally moved like 7,000 miles last year. It was ridiculous. Moved so much. We make mistakes, man. We're allowed to. We're human. One thing after another. So you guys again are going to see me do Ray stuff. It's basically the same song and dance. I like talking to you guys. You know what I'm saying? I know some folks out there are going to eventually tune into this and watch it and be like, man, this dude's like, not half bad. He's not half good. He's not half good either, but he's not half bad. I'll have zingers every now and again. I just, just a middle-aged, lonely guy. Nothing better to do with my life but play video games and enjoy the company of my cat. I've always been a cat person, though. Well, can't say always, but I've always had a cat ever since I can remember. I won't say I've always been a cat person because, growing up, when you're a kid, you have a cat, and it's the family cat. But the cat always chooses somebody, and I was never that somebody. Nothing was mean to the cat. It's just I had a big family. There were 5 of us, so the cat had options. You know what I'm saying? My youngest brother was always better with the animals. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of like the beast master. Kid could literally walk up to anything and pet it. You know what I'm saying? And not look threatening. Nowadays, I don't think I could say the same. He's 6'1" and 350 pounds. He kind of looks menacing now, but back then he was, he was short, and sweet, and all the animals liked him, so all the cats always flocked to him. Me, on the other hand, they I got to pet him and love on him and stuff like that, but it was just always, I was a hyperactive teenager, so, it's too much for him. As I got older, though, I didn't have an animal until I was 24. I was busy, honestly. Once I got out in the real world, I live vicariously through others. Not that I didn't like them, I just didn't have time for them. You know what I'm saying? I was so afraid, I'd get a dog or I'd get a cat and I'd fail. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail as a cat dad, or I'm going to fail as a dog dad. But I wound up dating a lady for a few years who was an extreme cat person. And when we split up, I got a cat. I was given a cat, actually. I didn't, go out and seek the cat. It was a parting gift. I know it's kind of weird sounding, but when we split up, she gave me a cat, one of the young ones, and I kept him with me, and ever since then, I've always had a cat around me. I've had 2 cats since him. Actually, technically 3. I had 2 at once. So, Booger, I moved out to, because that was his name. His name was Booger because he was a booger. Booger, I moved out to a farm, and he was kind of feral anyways. He had, the hair tips. So he became a barn cat. I couldn't keep him inside. He started out as an inside cat because I lived in the city, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, he didn't want to go outside because, traffic and stuff like that. You couldn't get him to go outside. But as soon as I moved out to the country, that's all he wanted to do. Was he found ways, you know what I'm saying? He became an escape artist. So I figured, there's not a lot of traffic on our road, because there wasn't a lot of traffic on our road because there was only 2 houses on, our road is all farmland. You know what I'm saying? And I lived across the street from the farm, from the farm. Everything else was land. And so he suggested, he was he come across one day and said, man, you have a big black furry cat. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, he's in my barn. He's, eating mice. I don't mind him being there. So I was like, all right, cool. I just let you know, in case, he comes up missing and he's hanging out over there. So that's exactly what he did. He would come home, hang out, get his little drink of water, and then go hang out with the cows. Literally, he'd go hang out with the cows and kill, any of the pests in the barn, and then, go into the cornfield that was behind our house and go hunt critters out there. So he was happy. Well, at that point, I lived 45 minutes from civilization. And this is legit. I lived 45 minutes from civilization, and it took me almost an hour to get to work, and from where I lived at that point. And and I'd been living there for a few years, and I'd started dating again. You know, somebody new. I'd started dating again, and it was getting costly to have to drive back and forth to the city, you know, every day or every other day to visit my girlfriend. So after about a year of dating, me and her had a conversation, and it was one of those, hey, you know, what do you think conversations. So we wound up getting an apartment together in the city, and I still had the place out in the country because, again, like, this is, you know, I was living on my buddy's farmland in his trailer. So, you know, he told me anytime I want to come out there, you know, I have the keys to it. I think I still have the keys to the place, even though it's long gone. So, you know, he told me if I needed a place to crash, things didn't work out, let him know, you know, and he'd have a place for me. So I was cool with that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, thanks, dude, you know, real friend. So, ooh, damn, that's nice. It's almost 2,400 too. Only downside is I'm losing my invisibility, but I'm gaining a lot of combat rating off of that. Sorry. So I ended up moving out, and I left Booger behind. And the reason why I left Booger behind was that I was moving into an apartment complex that just had an ungodly pet fee for cats. Like, you could have a free dog. If you had a dog, they didn't care. There was no pet fee, no nothing. But if you had a cat, man, like, it was like $300 for the down payment, and then an additional $30, and you had to get your cat declawed. And I was like, I ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about declawing my cat. You know what I'm saying? That's not how we roll here. So we'll save that for tomorrow. And we'll move over to Ray Ray. So I wasn't, you know, I ended up leaving Booger there because he was happy. And Booger wound up living to be about 22, almost 22 years old. So I'd go and visit him every now and again when I had the time, you know what I'm saying, when I go out there and party with my buddy. And he'd spend, I mean, literally, he'd spend the whole night in my lap, you know what I'm saying? We were boys, but I had to think about him before I thought about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, one, I'm taking somebody who's now, you know, a barn cat, and I'm going to reintroduce him into an apartment complex. That boy's going to go wild. He's going to claw every damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thoughts. And I'm like, two, you know, like, they're not going nowhere. They're not moving anytime soon. You know, they did like 10 years later, but they took Booger with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, you know, the point. So I talked to him, and my buddy was like, yeah, dude, I'll take care of Booger. Damn, I almost definitely forgot to claim that. I do that sometimes. I forget to claim my assembly rewards. If I go in there, like, right before Shadow Wars, and that's exactly what happened last night. I went right before Shadow Wars. I gotta check the map before I get anything started, because it'll be the same thing. Oh, good, they're taking care of it. Good job, guys. I don't have to talk to them as much. I mean, I do, because they're, you know, they're new players. You know, I have to answer questions, but I don't have to, like, worry about certain things. Like, B team is the bigger team, but they also overlook some stuff because they're so busy, and I get that. These guys, they're busy, but they're busier in a different way. They respect what they've got, basically. You know what I'm saying? B team loses a tower, they'll go fight another team for another tower. If D team loses a tower, we ain't getting that son of a bitch back. We just ain't got the power. Ain't got the manpower, man. It's the same song and dance too. It's literally log in, you know, check in on some things, get rid of all the damn red dots. They're gone. Good. The authenticator will show up next. I promise you it will. But so once I moved into the city and I was in this relationship for a while, she realized I was a little lonely, you know what I'm saying? Because she had dogs. She was a dog person. I was not. Well, I can't say I was not. I'm not a little dog person. She was. She loved little dogs. I like big dogs. I like big, goofy, you know, snotty, drooly, wrinkly, furry dogs. You know what I'm saying? The big dumb ones. You know, those are my favorite kind. Actually, I like the big smart ones too, but I like big dogs. And she was a small yapper person, and so she ended up getting some mini pins, and I like a Bichon, which is kind of a medium-sized poodle. Um, and she realized, like, you know, I just didn't really, the dogs didn't interact with me. I didn't really interact with dogs. I didn't really care. I gotta buy these. I knew something was up, man. I was like, man, something's up. But then I realized, like, Ray Ray has not bought anything all week. So I've got to knock out at least getting these and my keys the best that I can today. I'm not going to be able to get all the keys, but I'll get the chunk of them. This is the downside of having an alt. You're not on the alt nearly as much, so you don't get as much battle pass points and you don't get as many hilts. You know, my goal with my alt is try to knock out all the events, the major events, so that way I can, you know, collect legendary crests, Telleric pearls, and, you know, the stuff that matters for upgrading secondary gems and primary gems I go after on Ray Ray. Like, I'm straight to the point. Again, because, like, usually I'll start out with Oda and then go to Ray Ray, but sometimes, you know, like, it worries me, so I'll start out with Ray Ray just because I want to make sure that D team's okay. You know what I'm saying? Again, they're all new players. They're eventually going to be up in the B team, but right now they're so new or they're so far behind, so you just got 200 extra health. So guess where those are going? Keys, man, keys. Plus, I got to save up for a Telleric Pearl next week because that's going to be 800 and then all that other jazz. Just, it's a mess. Same group of people clustered around each other. Weird. Right, same song and dance. Like I said, this goes for both characters now. Like, I couldn't say this months ago. Like, 3 months ago, Ray Ray was so far behind. But now I can. It's like, they go about the same speed. It all ends up in, you know, the same speed, going as fast. Ray Ray was much slower to level with. God, I hated leveling with Ray Ray. Man, this is just junk. It's good pop. Alright, I gotta keep an eye on that, because remember, they've been sneaking by. Jerks. So, when they sneak by like that, they ain't friendly. Alright, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so let's make sure that they don't sneak by. Like that one. They're gonna sneak. They're gonna sneak. He's sneaking. He's sneaking. Yep. Watch this though. See how a couple of them snuck by. It's the same thing. The next wave is bolt casters, so it's gonna be literally just upgrading these bolt casters to as high a rank as I can. That's why, you know, again, it's stupid that I got to do that, you know what I'm saying, because there's like a glitch or something, and now I'm missing the tower, but at least I've got that third one up. And this is a rank 2, so even if they round the corner, they're still going to run into that one, and I got to actually move it. Watch. Because again, you know, you've noticed these things, you play it enough. I think it's going to be right here. Typically, if you go left, it goes right. It's very rare that it's on the bottom. I will lose it if it's on the bottom. I'll reset the son of a bitch. I don't care. Yep, it's right here. This will be Gus Towers. Almost guarantee it. Yep, see. But that's okay. We'll get it knocked back. This one I'm not so worried about. It does happen every now and again, but it's very rare that it does. And these guys move so slow that I can catch them. Got it. It's level 4. Nice. Try to get this up. Actually, I'll go ahead and start working on the lightning towers. Since we know they're going to be down here. At this point, you could leave and come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you get all these towers built, you could literally leave and come back later and then collect all your stuff twice. But I like the show. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice, welcomed little break. Trying to work these all to level to rank 4. I'd have it if I didn't have to build that other damn tower, like right now. But it's all good. It didn't hurt much. There you go. This is going to have to get upgraded next. Because again, the waves are going to get worse and worse and worse. And I have to upgrade constantly. It's just sitting on the upgrades, man. There we go. There's 3. Try to get this one to 4. I mean, like I said, I've got a fail-safe. That third one will stop them for sure. But you should never have to rely on that. And again, so early in the game, I shouldn't have had to build that one. But I think that there's an issue. We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to knock out ranking this to 4, and then we'll work on the rank 3s. And I may be way behind on this. Just because it just doesn't feel right. Because I'm out of sync. Had to build this one early. You get out of sync. You'll notice it. Like, it's like something's not right about this. And it's like, oh crap, my build's behind. This is Gus Towers. Yeah, I'm behind. I can already tell you. Way behind. The difference that one tower can make, man, is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the difference between being able to finalize that rank 3. Because watch, I should be able to get this lightning tower to rank 3 before the end of this, but I'm not going to be able to do that. Watch, lightning tower rank 1. This should be able to get to rank 3, and everything's slowing down so much. See, so my build's not good, and it's because I had to make an adjustment. I lost. That's the difference one energy tower will make, is 2 upgrades at the end. Do you see what I'm saying? It's how you know your timing's off. But I had to make that adjustment because those guys were leaking through. So it was either damned if you do or damned if you don't. And that's okay. You know, it's going to get upgraded this round, and we'll be able to sit in the corner and collect our gear. They're not getting through. And again, as we, there's no assembly today. It's just ROE. They don't do assembly. They don't do vault. Those get turned off on Sundays. So Shadow Clans and the Immortal Clans can focus on the Rite of Exile and their groups and stuff like that. And the last. Oh, almost there. Almost there. There we go. Flame Tower. Rank 4. Haha. Red dots, folks. That's mainly what I'm concerned with, is getting rid of these damn red dots. I've already turned that off, by the way. I've got an authenticator. If I wasn't saving up for my last unlock slot, best be damn. Well, I'm not even fully unlocked. on this character. Like, I haven't woke up. I have one more gem to wake up, but I need 10,000 platinum for it. So it's not an easy crawl. Sell your skill stone. Sell this, sell that. There's some things you just can't sell, bro. You can't. Try selling them. See what happens. You'll end up having to fucking farm it all back again. I don't sell my secondary gems like ever anymore. I used to, man. I made a ton of money off of it, but then it just, like, I started realizing like I was shooting myself in the foot because I was going to have to farm all those back out, you know. Shit, I didn't send them out on their shadow expedition. That's okay. I can fix that. It's not a big deal. I'll fix that when I get back. Like I said, this part will go real quick. You guys won't have to deal with me much longer. Probably about 10 more minutes, 15 at the most. And then, you know. But so far, yeah, man, I've been really happy with the content. I was just, like, the other day was kind of like one of them, like, I was so sold on the fact that we were getting what I thought was, like, a fully unlocked zone, but they're time gating it. And I get it. Like, they want to, you know, make the content last until, you know, it's ready. We're still up in the air on whether it's going to be the druid or if it's going to be the witch this go around, though. So we'll find out. We were talking about it the other day, like theory crafting wise, like it could be the witch, it could be the druid, since they're kind of pushing both classes. And the witch has actually been in the game a little longer. I want to get this yellow for this other guy picks it up. Call me greedy, because I am. Alright, so next one's Hateborn. So this one's kind of easy quest too. This whole, like I said, the classic zones are easy in some aspects because like all the monster density is like piled up. You see what I'm saying? So it's like run in a circle and you can pretty much kill everything. As you can see, it's just, I've already knocked out like almost half that quest just in a few, you know, matter of like 10-20 seconds. And it's just literally walk a circle, find some bad guys, kill them. Oh. I don't know if I'm collecting that or not. I'll have to look at Charcy. I know I've picked up a lot on Oda, but I think like there's a weekly limit to how much you can farm. I'm not sure. I don't know how it works. Just work here. Right. And then acolytes and their badges. Like I said, these are all easy quests. I might actually level or get close enough to level tonight if I do ROE. Or if I can get a dungeon. So I may actually be able to do that. I probably won't be able to do it while we're on air, but I'll definitely be able to level Ray Ray tonight. I don't know. I got confused with Oda. Oda's got a big chunk of XP left. I was like, damn, dude, I jumped XP quick. But then I realized, like, I'm on my Barbarian, not my Crusader. Oh, first world problems. That's the ballad of my life. Try not to leave them with... Why are you beating up demon corpses? I swear my clones... They had half a brain between each other, and you put them together, they would still only have half a fucking brain. Alright, badges are done. So Cosra, so I got all the big chunky quests out here. Yeah, you'll notice, like I said, I'm about 4 levels behind. I'll catch up a little bit. But I'll never really get ahead of Oda. It's just the way it is. Again, I don't play Ray Ray as much. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like with Oda, it's all about like min-maxing. With Ray Ray, it's all about goofing off and, you know, what's fun. That's the way it should be, honestly. Like, it's a big old smash build. Now, is Ray Ray better? I think the Barbarian class puts out more damage overall than the Crusader class, but I think the Crusader class has way more support value for a party. Never heard anybody talk about Barb buffs, but everybody wants Banner and Conj, you know, including Barbarians. Drop those guys so this way I can port out of here. I switch from Barb sometimes. Right now, I'm focused on the Barb because it's like incredible damage, good speed, good, you know, like it has everything with this build, like sustainability. I don't have range, but I mean, I'm a Barbarian. Why should I have range? Let's be honest here. Anybody ever play a ranged Barb? Actually, I'll shut up because it's a build. There's a couple of ranged Barb builds out there, but it's not high damage. All right. See, I told y'all this is going by pretty quickly. 64 there. I might. Yeah, I'll definitely level. I'll gain at least 1 level out of all this. I still gotta send my pets out on my shadow quest and on their evens, so I can get that done. Oh man, that was cracked. Snap, crackle, pop. This is another easy area. This will take 5 minutes. I don't know why, but they're not freezing like they should be. I don't know if it's my potency or something's just not hanging out there right. Oof, that was a lot of damage in one little burst. Goodbye, treasure goblin. Yeah, like I said, most of there's a few zones where I like regret questing in. This is not one of them. This is one of the easier zones to quest in because it's lightly spread out. You know what I'm saying? But it's not bad. The monster density radius is great. There's a couple of really good farm zones in this zone, so. You know, you have quite a bit of options to be out here. You know what I'm saying? Like a zone, I rate the zone off of its monster density radius, its size, and like, you know, again, like there are zones that don't have enough in them, and then there's zones that have too much in them. Like when we've talked about this, like there's so much room that they could have fit dungeons in a few of these zones and did not. you know, and it didn't make any sense. And it's like, well, maybe they'll do it in the future. Like, they have opportunity. It's a lot of, you know, they have real estate to write in. So, because that's what we're missing. We need, like, 2 really solid dungeons, honestly, to be added to the game, because we haven't gotten anything lately. We've gotten raids, you know, but we haven't gotten dungeons. And, you know, I'm sorry, man, like, I can't run the same dungeons over and over and over again for 2 years, and, you know, almost 2 years, and go, you know, where's the dungeons? Because there's not. It's the only thing. And again, there's nothing, like, if you're a regular player, like, I know people that love running these dungeons, and they're quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not like, you can get them done in 2 to 3 minutes, okay? But it's just like it gets repetitive. You see what I'm saying? Like, that 2 to 3 minutes gets repetitive, and I'm like, if you can, you know, we need more. You know what I'm saying? Like, Diablo 4 has like 150 dungeon options, and this one has, what, a whopping 5? You know, well, more than that. It's probably like 8 to 10. I'd have to count. That's one of my clanmates' headstones, so she's died out here. Okay, 13. I gotta talk to Charcy and see if I'm collecting any of this, or if it's just going to the wayside. Alright, last quest, ladies and gentlemen, and we're done. We're done. You know what I'm saying? We get to turn all this in, pop a level. Hi, baby. Pop a level. Oh, perfect. I love it when they're piled up like this and in a nice, neat pile. You can just waltz by them and just drop them. Like I said, the monster density radius out here is perfect. Like, you know, for each little bounty, it's just like there. You know, you don't have to gate as much. I think it's the better word. You don't have to go looking for as many things. It's like, it's nice when it's all just right there. And this area is so good too that it's going to respawn by the time I'm done. So I'll be able to, you know, anything I'm not able to kill, I'll be able to pick up. Ooh, nice sword mode. Boom. All 60 done. Alright, so let me get back to this. Click that, and we're done. That went quick, guys. Went quick. Like I said, I never really have anything bad to say when I'm questing. Like, they just go by so quickly. You know? It's the easy part. And like I said, if they worked on the dungeons some, like they added 2 more dungeons, man, I would probably run them, like, consistently again. But it's the same old song and dance. And so unless, like, I'm really, you know, like, focusing on a specific upgrade, I only run them to get gear. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I get my build gear done, I'm done for 100 levels. I don't have to run them as much. I can focus on events. Other people run them until the cows come home. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, they're min-maxing, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to pull the best in slot gear out. I can't blame them. I used to do that. I can't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because it legitimately burns me out. I feel like I'm, you know, like, it feels like running WoW dungeons, but not as much time. You know what I'm saying? It's like short burst WoW dungeons. Like 3-minute WoW dungeons. But it's like literally like the same, like, 9 to 12 dungeons. It's just so bad. It's the only complaint I have about this game. Is please fix the dungeons. As you guys can tell, I'm starting to pull out these upgrades. There's a reason why I'm focusing on Aquamarine right now, and it's because I don't have enough of them. I don't have enough of these either. All my blues are kind of been used for upgrades, so I have to work on getting 2 new blues because I just ranked that to 6 yesterday. So kind of sort of need it. Kind of sort of need it. Yep. If I had a few more reds too, that would be nice, but I just don't see that happening. And I'm not buying anything off the auction house. Alright, so what we wanted to do was we wanted to go over to the blacksmith and salvage. I might have some stuff to identify. Let's check. Oh, 2 pieces. So while we're over here, I wanted to see, yes, nice. So I can build off hands and main hands. But we're going to save this because I actually want to see if I can custom build a piece of gear. So, because I want to custom build a nice piece of gear that gives me 40% damage on something. Don't hate. Yeah. Alright, so it is collecting, so that's nice. Let me look at my items real quick, make sure I didn't get any upgrades. Remember, check everything. I didn't do it on Oda because Oda's shit's way too high. Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to, like, half this stuff, it's going to show up. Like, for example, like, this is an upgrade, but it's a downgrade because I'm losing those abilities. So you got to pay attention. That's why it didn't light up. Like, that's a upgrade, but it's a downgrade because it's only 1 magic ability. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. Like, you got to always pick and choose. Combat rating points don't always make the piece of gear better. Sometimes it's those secondary magic traits. But look at that, beautiful. All right. I think as soon as I send my pets off, we'll be done. It's the same thing. We're just gonna send 2 here and then 2 to evens. And log in later on today, collect my goods, and finish off. But I did really good this week. I actually gained 11 levels on Ray Ray because Ray Ray was real low last week because I just didn't really, and again, it all boils down to Vanguard being back, the event, the quest and all that caught me up. So a great week. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot complain. Like, I made par, with what I was supposed to do. So I'm very happy. I'm very satisfied with myself. All right, folks, I'm going to jump off here. Thank you guys. Says the streams. I can't read that. There's a warning. There's giving me a warning here. It says something about the streams. It's lower than recommended. Oh. Well, I didn't know that. We'll fix that later. So we'll fix that. It's not a big deal. I was streaming on Facebook last night, so that's my bad. We'll fix that. Yeah, that's why it's way low. All right, well, folks, I'm gonna get off here. Y'all have a good